Good afternoon. Welcome to this edition of End Time Prophecy Insight with your host, Takonda Banda. Please like and subscribe to my YouTube channel to get notifications of new videos and updates. Well, today I just want to reflect and react on the foreign trip for Donald Trump. It's in fact the first foreign trip for Donald Trump, the US president. And well, I think from the beginning of his second term presidency, there's been a lot of things that has been giving us a headache, both to the liberals in the left and of course questions again to those that are conservative. And it's something that we really need to observe, because right now, like we said in the beginning of the year, that 2025 is a very pivotal year for end time events. And you know what? Things are moving at a very fast and alarming rate. And that's what the Bible has said before, that once the things have been started, or the things have started, they must shortly come to pass. You know, the word shortly come to pass means that they are supposed to happen shortly and finish. Yeah, and exactly this is what we are witnessing in our day and age. And one of the evident things is the media. How you can check actually the news and current affairs, how progressive the world is right now. It's a fast-paced world. News, breaking news, just happening all across the world at an alarming rate. But not only that, it's not just the breaking news that is affecting you and me and the whole world, but it's also the breaking news that is affecting Bible prophecy. I'm talking about the fulfillment of the Bible prophecy. And you know what? Donald Trump just made his first foreign trip in the whole in his second term, and that foreign trip is something that has been looked at by others as a shift away from tradition, because U.S. presidents have been making foreign trips to, say, England, Europe, maybe to Canada, or to other countries, or to the most important part. But what does Donald Trump do? He makes a foreign trip to Saudi Arabia, and then to UAE, which is United Arab Emirates, and then to Qatar, which is they are in some called the gulfstates. Why is this a shift? Why are we supposed to talk about this? We are supposed to talk about this because these nations do not recognize the establishment of the state of Israel, which, guess what, has just been celebrating independence as of yesterday. That is on 14th May. And I'm making this video on 15th May, which is just a day after the commemoration of the declaration of independence for the state of Israel. And this is a big deal, really, because this is an ultimate shift for a president who is supposed to be a supporter of Israel. Now, let me just set the record straight. Donald Trump views himself as a peacemaker, and he wants to make peace in the Middle East. He wants to achieve it. He really wants to leave a legacy of making peace in the Middle East, peace in Ukraine, peace in every country, India and Pakistan. I think recently you have just seen how he's getting the credit to himself about the ceasefire that has been made between India and Pakistan over Kashmir. That's Donald Trump for you. And in this regard, he wants to establish peace in the Middle East. That's number one. Number two, he's looking for the money. When he was interviewed, in one of the interviews, You went out and said, okay, I'm going for the money. And guess what? They have secured, just in 2 days, they have secured 1.1 trillion US dollars for the US economy from investors in Saudi Arabia, as well as 1.2 trillion US dollars from investors from Qatar, and he's heading his way now to United Arab Emirates. And in all these countries, he received a hero's welcome. Now, Saudi Arabia and Qatar, it's a non-starter for a US president to visit this nation in line with foreign policy, because this is quite a shift. Because all these countries, you can see, they are, number one, Arab countries as well as Islamic countries. Now, what is the big deal about this, and why should this be a big deal? Why? It's because every time these people are investing in a country, they come again with their own ideology. They don't just invest, they come also with ideologies. Have you ever heard the saying that says, who controls the money makes the rules? The one who controls the money makes the rules. And you know what? There's been a lot of eyebrows that has happened actually in the past week, because in the very past week, business leaders like Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, the founder Sam Altman, the founder of OpenAI, and Neuralink, they have pledged support to work together with Mohammed bin Salman. Mohammed bin Salman, who is the crown prince. He's an absolute monarch. Actually, that's number one. That's one of the things that you need to know. There are only 3 absolute monarchs in this world as we are speaking today. Number 1 absolute monarch is the Vatican. The Pope is an absolute monarch. Whatever he says goes, without controversy, without contribution, without being opposed. That is in this world. The second monarch, or the second absolute monarch, guess who he is? The King of Saudi Arabia. The absolute monarch. And you know what? Mohammed bin Salman is a de facto ruler of Saudi Arabia, which is to say he is actually ruling Saudi Arabia silently, or is the hidden hand behind Saudi Arabia, so that after King Abdullah, his father, passes away, he is going to be the king. Now, why is this a problem? I would like you to watch a video how Donald Trump has actually lifted sanctions from the country that is called Syria. Donald Trump has lifted sanctions from the country that is called Syria. Why is this a big deal? It is a big deal because Syria is mentioned in Bible prophecy. And this is actually prophecy unfolding. Prophecy is unfolding right before our eyes. But before we check that video, I would like us to go first of all to the scriptures, because the scriptures will help us understand the place of prophecy, or the place where we are today in Bible prophecy. Let us go to the book of Daniel, chapter number 8, and I'll start reading from verse 23 up to 25, thereabout. And that's where we are going to see the unraveling of prophecy right before our eyes. Let's take a look. Here's what the Bible says from verse 23. And in the latter time of their kingdom, when the transgressors have come to the full, a king of fierce countenance and understanding dark sentences shall stand up, And his power shall be mighty, but not of his own, or not by his own power. And he shall destroy wonderfully, and prosper, and practice, and destroy the mighty and the holy people. So just for starters, we are looking at the prophecy of the Antichrist rising, not of his own power. I mean, from what is happening, can't you see that there is a handing over of authority and power to the new owners of the United States, or the new owners of the globe? Have you actually seen that, haven't you noticed that there's been a rise of Islam? And actually, these guys are actually influencing the whole United States president. Could it be that this is a shift that we're talking about? Could it be that this is prophecy unfolding? Saudi Arabia has invested heavily in the United States concerning artificial intelligence. Arms deals. They have signed arms deal with the United States. This is actually an interpretation of this that we're looking at right now from the news and current affairs. And I was so surprised really to see and notice that Donald Trump has actually shifted the power balance in the hands of this Saudi king. And the Bible says, in the latter times of their kingdom, they will arise. So there is actually intelligence sharing, an arms deal, purchasing of Boeing's airplanes, a joint monitoring of Saudi Arabia and US in terms of the space agencies, space intelligence, everything. So this guy is gonna rise, but not of his own power. It's the power that has been garnered, or power that has been yielded from other nations. And this is what is happening right now. This is the first occurrence. This is the first hidden occurrence that is happening right now. And it's actually progressing, because in 2018, Mohammed bin Salman made a trip to the United States, and he signed deals with almost every business leader. And this is a progression from where we are coming from that meeting. And yeah, this is what you can see. Deals amounting to $1.1 trillion US dollars. He's also going to Qatar, also securing deals amounting to $1.2 trillion arms deals. This is a fact. Trump, or the US government, is actually transferring power in the Middle East. And there is a reason for that. They want to deter Iran.